to the street, a hole in the chest.
Yo! What is going on, my people? How is everyone doing? What is going on? I want to give a huge shout out to everybody in the chat, a huge shout out to everybody listening right now, a huge shout out to everybody streaming it on all 3 platforms, a huge shout out to all of y'all. What is going on, my people? Shout out to everybody on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and all of that. Remember, guys, like the video, please. Like the video, please. Like the video. This is gonna help me out in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? We got 14 people up here. Hopefully there's 14 likes. You know what I'm saying? So like the video, share it, give it to your latest comrades and all that. But anyway, there's a lot of things to discuss. There's a lot of things to discuss, man. A lot of things to discuss. Hopefully, I get some like-minded people to call on up. But there's a lot of things to discuss. Now, one of the things, right? Shout out to Anthony. That B sounds like a child of the ghetto Cameron joint. Yo, shout out to Anthony. Now, there's a lot of things to discuss, man. Now, if you guys are in the super pro black woke sector or whatever the case is, or even dabbled in some of the conversations, or dabbled in some of the reading materials such as Nellie Fuller, Francis Cress Welsing, and all that other stuff, the number one thing that they say is being on code is not going against other black folks. Now, the image I have up, right? The image that I have up is pretty much the image that, synonymously, captivates this presidents that I am talking about. Infighting. A bunch of infighting, and on top of the surface, white supremacy is basically laughing. You know what I'm saying? Let me actually put up the image. Let me actually put up the image right here. Hold on. Let me actually put up the image. Give me a minute, guys. I should have done this a long time ago, but no, I want to do it now. But pretty much that's what the image entails. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of infighting, a bunch of people reclassifying themselves what it is. They're Freemen, Secure the Tribe, FBA, all of that. Infighting, a bunch of racist rhetoric, racist talking points. And at the end of the day, the real enemy, the real people that's putting y'all down, putting us down, the real people behind the scenes is laughing. They're laughing. It's like they have created the perfect smokescreen in order to captivate people's minds. This image right here says it all. It's a little funny image, but it speaks volumes. This image speaks volume. It speaks a lot of facts, to be honest. It speaks a lot. And I am going to go out of my way. And yeah, FBA, Secure the Tribe, and it's a bunch of dummies. Yeah. But I am going to go out of my way and say, I'm going to allegedly say that Tariq Nasheed is a co-opted agent using COINTELPRO in order to cause division. Yes, I am going to go out on a limb and say that. Because my man uses every excuse in the book to not put boots in the ground and actually do what he needs to do. He said that he's going to show us how to... he's going to show y'all how to get reparations. How to get reparations, but yet in his own website, there's nothing. Go to the FBA website. I'm dead serious. Go to the FBA website. You guys will see there's no mention of reparations and the political game plan in order to achieve reparations. I'm dead serious. Everybody, for real, it's official FBA.com. Listen, I'm petty as shit. All right, I am petty as fuck. Listen, this is the website. This is the website, FBA history, right? Hey, buy my book. The flag, a bunch of t-shirts, right? Shop now. The holiday, okay. Dr. Cress Wilson books, again, another shop this, shop that. Okay, great. The 2020 conference that already been passed. Okay, again, a bunch of shopping stuff. Where, who's foundational Black American and who's not. And I'm going to get into that. And that's it. That's all it has. That's all it has. In the first beginning few sentences, it gives you some historical facts, and then boom, buy this. Are you serious? There's nothing else for me to click on. Where is the political agenda? No, seriously. At least ADOS had a political game plan. ADOS had a political game plan, right? But let's go with Tariq's bullshit. It's a lineage, not a group. Well, I'm here to expound that. Let's talk about it being a lineage, right? Okay. You go all the way down to the website. Who is a foundational Black American, right? The person traces their lineage back, blah, blah, right? Who is the status of a half FBA and half immigrant group? This is where it gets contradictory. Right? An FBA individual whose non-FBA parental lineage comes from a parent who's immigrated to the United States after the 1970s should not be considered or looked upon as a representative or spokesperson for a serious political, social, economic, FBA. Okay, gotcha. It's right here. If you are a person classified as Black whose parents are immigrant background, but yet FBA parent, you're a foundational Black American, right? It says it right here. But then it's at the bottom. Right here it goes, the only exception to this rule is if the half FBA individual has a verified track record of loyalty and tangible contributions to the betterment of FBA grassroots level. How is that quantified? What? How is that quantified? How is that? So now there's an exception to being half FBA. This means it's a group, not a lineage. It's a group. You feel me? This right here contradicts itself and makes it into a group on their own website. On their own website. This contradicts itself from a lineage and makes it a group. I did not read it wrong. It says it right there. There should not be exceptions to a lineage. Bro, how did I read it wrong? There should not be exceptions to a lineage. It contradicts itself from a lineage and it goes into a group. Know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, because Tariq out of his own mouth said, I'm going to show you how to get reparations. In his own website, there's no political game plan. Right? Now, let me go a little bit deeper than this, right? Now, Tariq Nasheed and Secure the Tribe have been going back and forth and been beefing, right? And this is where I'm starting to see that these people who are really out here, boots on the ground, doing the work, outside, doing their thing, and all that other stuff, right? Doing their thing outside, are now questioning this so-called non-leader. How come you ain't outside with us? You got a big platform, you got a big voice, your image should be outside with us to show that you're serious about this. It's supposed to be a reparations rally. He's giving excuses as why he's not outside. You know why? You know why? Because this is all a game for him. He ain't serious about this. And I'm going to prove it right now. So, the first one, first of all, I want y'all to listen to something. This is from a movie called Trick Baby in 1974. And I want y'all to listen to something real quick. They speak a lot of truth in this. They speak a lot of truth in this, but I want y'all to listen to something, all right? Let me just stop the music. They say something real serious here that I want y'all to listen to. Check this out.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No thanks.
Now, doesn't that sound like every black political person in political power right now? But I will go out and say that this basically, white supremacy has perfected this so much that I'm going to say that they have infiltrated these so-called political leaders, YouTube leaders, the same way. And I'm going to prove it. Now, one of Tariq Nasheed again was out here having fun. I want y'all just to keep that scene in mind. Tariq Nasheed was out here, you know what I'm saying, giving excuses as to why he wasn't out in the rally, out in the march, and he's giving excuses, right? Oh, there's people out there with guns and all this other stuff. And people are calling up who were a part of this, was like, hey, yo, has nothing to do with it. How come you guys ain't with us? And he's giving excuses. Check this out.
So,
okay.
And I just want to say that a lot of it is, yeah, we want to see that defensive spin put on against the spin that is out there by the white media that's saying that, you know, we're armed with this and that, you know, we're out there stomping for reparations, and we want to hear that, you know, shout out to Coops who came up with this math, but we were 3/5 of the country out there stomping. We want to hear, you know, our people, you and the rest of the new black media. We want to hear you, you know, do the counter spin. That's it.
Right. Well, the thing is, again, after the rally or the pull up Monday, I gave everybody a shout out. And then it got into some semantics. I shouldn't have said rally. I should have said pull up. So that's just some nitpicking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That gets into some other stuff. And plus, again, I didn't really know when the dates.
Watch, the dude is going to stop him. And he's going to be like, no, that's not what I mean. Check this out.
So the pull-ups were going to be, because I don't be in these spaces like that. I don't be in these spaces every day, brother. And plus, I'm doing my thing out here. I'm getting ready to go to Atlanta to do that in the middle of finishing a movie. So I don't keep up with every little thing. I just don't. But
not just you, Flex, not just you, not you, and again, you've done more, you know, albeit, you know, we didn't get all the, like I said, all the positive spin that we wanted, but you certainly did more than anybody else so far. But that's not saying a whole lot. And so that all we're saying is that as far as the entirety of the new black media, not just you, we're not seeing what we should be seeing. And we're calling our people to task as we.
So I don't keep up.
You, not you, and not the, like I said, all the positive spin that we wanted, but you certainly did more than anybody else so far. But that's not saying a whole lot.
Again, that's not saying a whole lot. Let's keep it going.
And so that all we're saying is that as far as the entirety of the new black media, not just you, we're not seeing what we should be seeing. We're calling our people to task as we should, just being on code.
Boom. Boom. Calling our people on task and being on code. Calling our people out. How come you're not there? And being on code. You know what I'm saying? And look what Tariq dismisses the whole thing and goes into some little babble. Watch.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, brother. All right. Okay, man. Look, the real deal, family, y'all got to focus. And the priority should be the messaging, putting the messaging out there.
You got to focus. And remember, the messaging is that I'm not supposed to do shit for y'all. I'm not a leader. You feel what I'm saying? But yet, he gets money to do leader shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any type of sense. You feel me? It does not make any type of sense. So he goes out and says all of this, right? He goes out and says all of that while also trying to, again, this was, if you guys can see it, hold on, let me just put this up. If you guys can see this was September 27th, right? This was September 27th, right? Y'all guys see that? That was uploaded September 27th. This was a couple of days ago, right? This was September 28th. Let me just put it up. September 28th, right? And again, people are talking about, hey, yo, how come you're not in there? 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 People are calling him to task. He's giving excuses, but very interesting. Look at the hypocrisy, because he contradicts himself. Look at what he says in order to be like, yo, I'm trying to help you out. But look what he says. Check this out.
About these events, knowing what was going down this weekend and looking at the press that it's getting. In some cities, some of the mainstream media, they're talking about, yeah, some armed radical groups were marching for reparations. And when you sit up here trying to point to people saying, hey, this person, that dude here and that dude there organized a pull-up where there were armed people. And if you look at some of the footage, I think down in Texas or one of them cities, some of the dudes were walking around like, yeah, we shoot back. We shoot back. So you don't want to centralize that. You don't want to start pointing people out. I'm damn sure not going to start pointing people out and naming.
Whoa, hold on. Let's see that one more time.
Centralize that. You don't want to start pointing people out. I'm damn sure not going to start pointing people out and naming people. So she's pointing people out. I'm damn sure not going to start pointing people out and naming people. So
I'm not going to start pointing people out and naming people. I'm not going to start pointing people out and naming people. That was September 28th. My man on September 30th got that call from the FBI and said, hey, yo, you got to start pointing people out and naming people. He said, okay, massa. And this is what we get. The real name, Leonard Franklin from Secure the Tribe, but he put Secure the Cloud, is still trying to test me. Look how ashy he is, blah, 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 and all that other stuff. He even put out pictures of the dude. He put out pictures of the dude, doxing him, and this is September 30th. But yet, this is the same person that said, I'm not going to point people out. What was up with that? I'm not going to point people out. What's up with that? And also, for base, this has nothing to do. They talk wild stuff about Latinos and immigrants. This has everything to do with me. Has everything to do with me. So don't get mad because I'm calling your zaddy out. You know what I mean? So What's up with that? I'm not gonna point people out. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. And that's the first thing he does a couple of days later after he gets that call. You know what I'm saying? But this dude, Tariq, and all these other had this. Listen, Tariq especially had the blueprint. He had the blueprint already on this because Pan African Strikes Back, right? Had a live stream a couple of days ago where one of his old homies, one of Tariq's old homies, called in and said what he needed to say. And I actually talked to him. I was like, hey, yo, is his name really Marcus Sanders and all that other stuff? He was like, nah, he went by Cosmo or and all this other stuff. But check what he said, because it was very interesting and it kind of shows the snakish behavior of a certain individual. Check this out. Like, no, so let me ask. So when he blew up, he didn't try to get you guys in a good position, like maybe security or whatever the case is.
That's what you would think. That I mean, no,
he can't do that. Like, guys, I literally was gonna make a.
I got to defend Tariq a little bit here. You mean
wait, stop. Wait a minute. Listen,
you trying to say that he didn't secure the tribe when he made it?
Man, he ain't trying to say. He ain't trying to say. He's saying that. Go ahead.
My older brother is on 3 of his features, on 3 features on his Wash Your Ass album. I'm on 1, right? But the whole album before that album, the War Zone, is done by my partner from New York. He did the whole album. He never got a nickel. Tariq worth millions. I brought him on my show. Brandon, no, I brought him on my show just to tell people now he's a nigga that got the money. Let me explain. When we went out to clubs and stuff like this, we went out to upscale clubs. We went out to clubs. If you're familiar with the Los Angeles area, Bar One, Las Palmas, Club Cream, Billboard Live, all of, whatever, the Gate, the Garden of Eden, whatever is $25, $30 to get in. Basketball players, whether it's the Clippers or the Lakers, wherever some of them dudes, not the main stars, is going to hang out at, those are the clubs that we went to. And he was, I'm just saying the personality, his ideology is, he's a big dude, right? So first of all, he's going after, when we in the club, he's going after, kind of like the cream in the club, whatever. And those are the white girls to a degree. That's how he looks at it. He looks at the people,
Well, anyway, in other words, he ain't help out his people. In other words, he ain't help out his people. You know what I'm saying? He ain't help out his people, in other words. And not for nothing. But listen, if I'm going to start beefing with one of my friends, or if I'm going to start beefing with somebody I'm cool with, I'm not going to make that a public thing whatsoever. Right? Listen, there's somebody on YouTube that I fell off with, right? There's a person on YouTube I fell off with. Yeah, nobody knew nothing about it. Nobody knew nothing about it. It's about to be damn near, I believe. But I'll be a couple of months. Almost close to it. Is it going to be close to you? I don't think it's going to be close to you, but it's going to be a couple of months. Me and this person fell off. Y'all haven't heard nothing about it. Y'all haven't even seen a video of me saying nothing about it. I've been quiet because those are the type of things that I do. I don't like to put my business out there, especially put people's whole neck. Nah. If it's something between me and you, it's something between me and you. You feel me? And when I had my gym before it got closed down due to COVID, the first thing I did was hire most of the homies. That's the first thing I did. So the thing is, my thing is, at least, yo, if y'all don't get nothing, get something out of this. Be a man always. You feel me? Try to be a man always. And don't put your business out there like a hoe. You feel me? Just try to be a man always, because the only thing you got is a word. You feel me? So I got King James in the back. What's going on, bro?
Yo, Radical, what's going on, bro? Am I coming in clear?
Yeah. You good, bro. What's going on, man?
Yeah, man. Just showing up to support you, man. I mean, keep it going, man. It's Radical, we got way too many of these people, bro. We got
Yeah.
way too many of these people within our community, and like everybody is trying to come around us and just scam and scam and scam. Like
Yeah.
I'd be confused that it took people so long to see how fraud of Tariq, a person Tariq is. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Like it's confusing because like I remember if I'm wrong, tell me, Radical, but you used to support Tariq back in the day, didn't you?
I did. I was a huge Tariq fan. I'm not gonna lie about that. I did.
All of us, and I think the crazy part about it is that I think the people that are able to see this thing the fastest is the people that used to support him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I used to be a big like. Let me tell you something radical. I used to leave. I used to drop off campus. I remember when he used to do lectures at Yale University. He was doing a lecture there. Me and my friends, we would go there, sit in the front row, support this dude, put money on, in all his projects. I've donated thousands of dollars to Tariq's projects.
Mhm.
I used to think that this dude was like the real deal. You understand what I'm saying? But we got so many of these people within our community, and truth be told, there's nothing wrong with it, Radical, because we're trying to, we all know what we're supposed to be doing, Radical. It's that we understand that white supremacy is at the door for us, whether it's blacks, whether it's the Hispanic or the Latino brothers and sisters. So we have some sort of an identity, especially with brothers like us from New York, or if you live, from New York or Jersey. We know when the NYPD's whipping my ass, they whipping your ass too, Radical.
Hell yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, if they beat my ass, they beat your ass at the same time.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, we grew
them,
up getting beat up the same.
Listen, them boots, them bullets, them cuffs, they don't discriminate. You feel
They
me?
don't.
They don't discriminate. You
They
feel
don't
me?
discriminate, Radical. They don't discriminate, brother.
Word.
And I'm telling you, like, you go on some of these Twitter spaces and you're talking like these security tribe, like Tariq broke their spirit.
Mhm.
Tariq broke their spirit, man. They really thought they was doing something. They really
Yeah.
thought that they was like some champions or something. Like, yeah. So I didn't even heard some of these people talking about some. It was one dude from Security Tribe. His name is Sonny. Like I remember one time I was talking to dude. He was like, "Yeah, me and Tariq, we got a personal relationship, man." He made it seem like he's having dinner with Tariq on Saturdays.
Oh my
Like he made it
god.
seem. I'm telling you, bro. Like Tariq really gave them their 15 minutes of fame. But truth be told, the reason why a lot of them, they was really hurt is because in real life they're not accomplishing anything. That's how people are. In real life, if you're not really accomplishing shit, you just think that if something comes around and you're trying to jock for space. Like they was on Twitter asking for cash apps. Sometimes even before Security Tribe at one point in time, you couldn't go into their rooms until you had to pay them a fee.
What?
You had to pay them yes. That dude Mel, that Tariq and Docs, he was charging people for you to come up into his Twitter spaces.
Hey, oh, hey, yo, bro. Bro.
I'm telling you, Radical. These people done lost their damn minds, but it's sad because Tariq used them to get to where he's at. And what's crazy, Radical, is people don't understand what Tariq is doing now. Tariq is gonna start cutting off the fat because now that it's official, he might be getting that show over there in Revolts. He's cutting off all these things. Like he did the Twitter space the other day and he started blaming Security Tribe and saying, "Ain't nobody tell y'all to talk to them Africans like that. Ain't nobody." I was like, whoa,
I saw that.
hold
I
on.
saw that. Yeah, no,
Exactly.
I saw that.
He's
He was
cleaning
like,
house.
he was like, I'm the one getting the pushback about y'all.
I'm the one getting the pushback. The international media. Yeah, everybody, the international media was writing stories about me, and I'm the one who was getting all the hurt. I'm the one that getting targeted out here. Y'all don't have to. I'm like, whoa.
I think I got Anthony out here. Yo, Ant, what's going on, bro?
Yo,
bring Anthony up here because Anthony be on that bullshit, bro. Bring him up here.
No, let's chill. But continue, bro. Continue. And then I'll let Anthony talk.
Yeah. Shout out to Anthony, man. What's his name? Yeah, but what do you call it? Radical, like the way, like I think it's easier to go at Tariq now. But I'm gonna tell you, Radical, as somebody that supported Tariq back in the day, like every single the FBA conference, everything, like the reason why like I really turned around and started looking at him funny styles because one, like we grew up here, Radical. Like we grew up in New York, and as a brother from Africa myself, I ain't never really seen nothing different with us. As like if I hang out with Puerto Ricans, I hang out with Dominicans, I hang out with Jamaicans, I'm hang out with Salvadorians. Last night I spent my whole day with Colombian people. So when Tariq is talking this nonsense, I'm like, what is this dude talking about?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like you can clearly see that he has an agenda. You can clearly see that he's just pushing this. Now, this dude is not a leader of anybody, and people should stop listening to him.
Yeah.
What's dangerous, and I was trying to tell Melanin the other day, it's like, yo, this FBA thing that he started, he can just say at some point in time, let's just say the feds showed up to his house. Y'all don't want that type of trouble. Y'all don't want that type of trouble. At some point in time, somebody goes out there in the FBA crowd and they do something stupid. They're going to start putting all of y'all together, and here come the RICO charges. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody going to start getting into trouble. So I'm like, yo, stay out of this nonsense. Like this dude, he's scamming to get what belongs to him. Like Radical, I was confused when I was listening to Rick talk the other day. And that other dude, Phil Scott too, because he be playing cheerleader for Tariq. He did a live stream the other day talking about ain't nobody tell y'all to talk to those Africans like that. Why Secure the Tribe talking like that? I'm like, wait, hold on. Y'all were the main ones basically bigging up Secure the Tribe for insulting immigrants in the country. Y'all was the ones they was the ones pushing that. They was the ones. Tariq was saying, yo, yeah, Secure the Tribe be in there.
No, but let's be honest though. Tariq started it. Tariq started it, and Secure the Tribe just took.
He started the whole thing.
Yeah.
He started the whole thing. Tariq started the whole thing. He was bigging them up from day one. He was bigging up. And the crazy part about it, Radical, is that Secure the Tribe, you know something? All of them dudes from Secure the Tribe, they a bunch of fools. Let's be honest, Radical. They was the ones doing the groundwork. I can respect that. They went there physically to get something done.
Yeah.
They were pulling up during the rallies. They were talking about reparations.
Yeah.
What were you doing, Tariq?
Exactly.
What were you doing? Just out there getting shine. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Let Brother Anthony in here.
I'm gonna let Anthony go. What you gotta say, bro?
Yeah, what's good, man? But I'll say this, yeah. I think some people get the wrong idea of me. They be like, "Oh, you be defending Tariq and this and this and that." My thing is, I really do try to be fair, and I do call Tariq out, and I have made a video calling Tariq out, and people was coming at me, right? So I called Tariq out for his stance on like Africans and Latinos. I don't respect that shit, but I think what it is Tariq tries to play like he wants to be in the loop, but he also doesn't want the responsibility, which is why he'll say things like, "I'm not a leader," and I don't respect that. Same thing with his political views. He'll say, we need to get on code and we need to do this, but he's not going to actually tell people who he thinks that they should vote for. So it's kind of like him and who's the dude, Jason Black. They do kind of the same thing. So I call it out. But for some people, I realize that they are just hating. You know what I mean? Simple as that. And they do use his name for clout. You know, that's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think people definitely get the wrong idea. But as far as Tariq saying, what did this do? I can't see your name, brother, but so I don't know, your name. But he said nobody told you to go at Africans like that. I didn't hear that part, but I did hear him say something like, I'm getting all the heat from that. And to a certain degree, I have to agree. He's probably right.
Nah. Hold on, Anthony, hold on for a second. My bad. Let me cut you off just for a quick second, Anthony. It's not about the going after the African things, but here's the thing. Tariq, let's not act like children, Anthony. You know what Tariq is doing. Some of us been following Tariq for a long time, so we really know how he is. When it comes to when I was talking about the African situation, it's like he's trying to make it seem. One of the live streams when he was talking about when he was going in on Yaya, Tariq said that what did he say? He said Secure the Tribe starts so many fires, and I have to come behind y'all and put those fires out. Y'all running around here talking bad about people. And then Phil Scott, who was Tariq's cheerleader, said the same thing during the live stream. He said, Phil Scott was like, ain't nobody tell y'all to go talk to them Africans. Now I got to be up on the phone talking to these Nigerians. These Nigerians is calling me. Some of these Caribbeans is calling me. And I got to get on the phone with these people. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Stop acting like y'all some good guys now. Y'all the main ones. Anthony, let me tell you. Hold on for a second, Anthony. I promise I'm gonna let you go back. Let me tell you something. Radical. I had no problem with what Tariq and them was doing in the first place. Yes, radical. We got a lot of coons in the mix, and we got to get them out of here. Even me myself, sometimes I look at brothers and sisters from the African community, and I'm like, yo, no, we can't be talking about African Americans like that. You can't say stuff. You can't say stuff about people that helped you get here. You can't say stuff about people that helped you get these opportunities.
That's true. Yeah.
I be looking at some of these people and I'm like, yo, when Tariq started going in on us, I'm like, all right, well, I know I'm not a coon, so I'm gonna just sit on the sideline. I'm gonna enjoy this show. Some of these people need to get straightened out. Some of these people in the African community, some of them are some of the most horrible people I've ever seen. They be talking horrible about African Americans. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, all right, so these people talking shit, Tariq, get at them and get them out the paint. But when he started talking about we're going to start calling ICE on Spanish people, we're going to start calling ICE on Latinos, we're going to start calling ICE on Africans and Caribbeans, I was like, hold up. Hold up now, brother. We're going to a different place. We're going to a different place. I never we from New York, radical. You don't pick up the phone under no circumstance and call Johnny Law on your brother and sister. Facts. I don't care how much of a coon he is, we don't roll like that.
Fam, and I knew a dude that got curb stomped because he was losing money because he was hustling. He was losing money from dudes 2 blocks down. He calls the cops on them. And like a dumbass goes brags about it, saying, "Yeah, them niggas got because I had to do what I had to do." Less than 8 hours later, he got curb stomped, bro. Teeth and that's all over, bro.
That's how it go. I mean, you know how we grew up, radical. If you call, you don't do that. I would never. And here's the thing about it: I knew something was up, radical, because you know who invented that rule. If you're an immigrant or you from a different culture, African Americans are the ones that invented the rule. You never call the police on your brother. You never call. If we go radical, if I owe you some money, we gonna fix it behind closed doors. We gonna go somewhere and we gonna talk about it. If I did something wrong to you, radical, we gonna fix it in a different way. But we don't call Johnny Law. That's something that we just don't do. And you had some of these people from Secure the Tribe talking about some, Tariq, brother, I just met the dude, what's his name? Chef C. He's from Jersey. I know this dude. Like, I've seen him before, and I'm like, you really called ICE on another black person? You really call ICE on another Hispanic person? He was bragging about it on the Twitter space, talking about he got in contact.
But yo, let me tell you why people doing that though. Let me tell you why people doing that though. And
go ahead, Anthony. Let me shut up. Go ahead, Anthony.
Go back to my point. I'm saying I don't blame Tariq a little bit because sometimes I went into some of those Security Tribe rooms, and if Tariq is like, he'll go in on Africans or whatever, but it's nothing to the level of like what these Security Tribe like little
true. They go on a different level.
Yeah, that's why I say I can kind of understand why Tariq would try to protect his brand and kind of distance himself from them because, again, like I've been into some of these chat rooms and like even like Mouthy Meg, like sometimes she'll say something cool, but then she'll say something just that's wild, bro. And I'm just like, damn.
But real quick, bro, like real quick, radical. Hold on for a second. Let me tell you something. Go ahead. My bad. Yeah. So like, bro, like, Anthony, I used to even support Meg sometimes because I was like, yo. As long as we going in on the coons in our community, I don't mind even letting y'all going in on the people from our culture. Like if somebody's cooning, we not gonna claim them. I don't care if they Haitian, radical knows this better than anybody. If you part of the Hispanic community and you cooning, somebody's gonna check you. That's just how things go. You understand what I'm saying? But when I was watching Mouthy's page one time, and the brother got shot and killed by the police up there in Michigan, the African brother. Mouthy Meg made a video insulting the brother for getting killed. I was like, wait, hold on. Now y'all going to a different level. This is something that I've never seen before. Nobody does this. Nobody makes fun of another black person for getting killed by the police. Literally no human being does this. Y'all on some white supremacist levels right now. But my bad, Radical. Go ahead, bro.
So this is my before I'm gonna let Rakim go. Before I do, I want to just say I understand where FBA was coming from when it talks about some immigrant groups, bad mouthing, and not only doing bad mouthing, but looking down on Black Americans. I understand when they were coming like, hey, yo, we shouldn't be tolerating that. I get it. But then it started turning into some, yo, let's go from words to action. You feel me? And it started to like, yo, I'm gonna call ICE.
Yo,
now,
bro, that's
there was some FBA talking about, yo, I'm gonna hurt someone and all that other stuff. So it went to a whole nother thing. You feel what I'm saying? And
Radical. There was a dude talking about. There was a dude. You know what I found? I'm a Jersey type of dude. There was a dude pointing out where all the Hispanic. There's one city and one town that we know that a big margin of the Latino brothers and sisters they stay at. There was a dude on the Secure the Tribe space. I know him. He lives in Irvington, New Jersey. He said it out in the open. He said, "I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna find out who's illegal and I'm gonna call ICE." I was like, "What did you just say?"
Damn.
I was like, "Hold on, we is this like a real thing? Like, did you just say what I think you said?" Like, oh, okay, all right, man.
But
all right, bro.
they don't know that Jersey is like a sanctuary city. Like they don't know that, right?
Yeah, the whole damn state is a sanctuary state.
Yeah,
Like,
like
what
come
do
on
you?
now.
Yeah,
All right, let me
getting
play this
somebody.
let me play this
Go
real
ahead,
quick,
bro.
and then I'm gonna let Rakim go. I'm gonna play this real quick. This is Mel from Secure the Tribe basically denouncing that he's FBA. So check this out.
All compared to FBA and Tariq, but we're not letting him run nothing down at all.
Wait, hold up. Compared to FBA and wait, y'all not FBA no more?
And I'm a Black American.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I'm gonna say. Is just thank you. I'm not gonna run with that.
Welcome back.
It's a fucking
Welcome
start.
back.
It's a start. Now, if you can help convince the
So
other
wait,
one,
so that's a group then.
don't let this motherfucker run.
Yes, it's the largest groups of Black people in the United States of America. We have many leaders on many different fronts who do many different things.
I'm a Black American. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. So that's the latest that's the latest thing that I got from that. But I wanna introduce Rakim. Yo, Rakim, what's going on, dude?
Yo, what up, Rad?
What's going on, bro?
Nothing much, man. I wanted to come in and chime in on this whole situation, not just with Tariq, but the situation in general.
Yeah.
Me personally, I didn't really know much about Tariq besides Hidden Colors. I never really watched a lot of his stuff. I'm not saying that his actions can possibly be disingenuous, but it did not take away some of the truth on what he was saying. Even a broken clock is right twice, you know, going round and round. But one thing I will say is that, like I said this before, everybody knows I don't have a hateful bone in my body. I acknowledge all my peoples from the Caribbean if they acknowledge me, if they got love for me, I got love for them. If they identify with me, I identify with them. But we're talking about Tariq is creating dissension when the dissension had already been there. The division had already been there. Let's just keep it real with what it is. You have a lot of people who, for whatever reason, maybe it was different, history in their homelands. It was different history on the islands of the continent. But for whatever reason, a lot of people decide that they come over here and let's just keep it a buck. They look at Black as the lowest class. So they decide to side against Black people with white supremacists, with a white supremacist system. You have a lot of people, because we sit here and say Tariq is causing division, but we're not talking about how many people are honestly with Black Americans. Nobody's speaking about that.
Not a lot. I don't think some Black Americans are with Black Americans.
No, I'm keeping it a buck. How many people do you hear, Rad, besides yourself and a few other people, say brown and Black people when they bring up Latin issues? How many people do we hear with Africans or with other Caribbeans that side with Black Americans unless they second or third generation here and they understand a little bit better? Most people go with their customs. Now that a lot of Black Americans have woken up to that, and Black Americans have been dealing with the negative comments, and this is not even about negative comments. This is about people that get into Black American spaces, check Black American on that for those benefits and different things like that, then turn around and try to shit on Black Americans at the same time, and then turn around and side with white politicians on pretty much derailing anything that Black Americans got going on for their own personal gain or for their own gain with their own group.
My fault. Did I miss anything? Did somebody ask me a question? My bad. I was answering the door. My wife iPhone 14 Pro came in, so her joint came in first before mine. But anyway, go
That's
ahead.
why my iPhone's slow, man. Damn.
Go ahead. My fault.
So pretty much what the brother was saying about people coming to Tariq's door, FBI, that don't really scare Black Americans because the FBI has been co-opting every movement we ever had. The FBI assassinated every Black American leader we ever had, and that's one thing we just got to keep it real about, because I don't feel like we're honest. Black Americans have made the most sacrifice in this country with little to nothing to gain from it. Everyone else benefit off everything we do, and then turn around and side with the same people that not only don't want them here in the United States, but they turn around and they, destroy multiple homelands in Latin America and the Caribbean, straight up colonized Africa and stole all the riches and wealth to divide it between Europe and the United States. And the same people that are trying to fight up against the system that has ruined so many people's homelands and the islands in the Caribbean and the continent, the same people that come over here, the people that are the root cause of that, a lot of people kiss their asses. And I just can't understand that for the life of me. But when Black Americans, people can say the most disparaging thing. We had a war with other groups. We damn near had a war with other groups because they didn't like the fact that people called them Black. That was pretty much the biggest reason. So I just feel like if we're gonna be honest about it, let's be all the way honest.
I know Black though. Now let me stop. No, you're right. But do you?
Can I respond to Taino Knight 1 second?
Go ahead, bro.
Taino Knight, you always have a lot to say, bro. You should come up on the panel. Yeah,
Yo, Taino Knight, why don't you come up, man?
Yes, Africans sold other Africans into slavery. You know why? Which I've repeated this on numerous live streams. There was no concept of race at that particular time. It was tribal warfare within the continent.
Exactly.
What
the thing
Europeans did.
The African slavery was very different from European slavery. Extremely different.
Extremely different. And let me just say this: what Europeans did was go in on what they're exactly doing today. Any tribes that had certain gripes with other tribes based off of tribal warfare, they empowered that tribe to be and sided with that tribe so that tribe can take over the other tribe so they can be for their own benefit.
Yeah.
No different. You call yourself Taino, then you should understand how the Europeans came into your native lands and colonized the Caribbean. So by your logic and your way of thinking, that was the Taínos' fault, because the Europeans were more technologically advanced when it came to war, which was brutal practices they had been practicing on each other in Europe since the Iron Age, since the medieval age.
Bro, I have to disagree on that. They don't have a concept of race. You can't tell me that they've been trading with the Arabs and they've been trading with the Asians and the Europeans for all this time.
What I'm saying, bro, is there was no concept of blackness. It was only a concept of your tribe. In Nigeria, you have Yoruba, Igbo, Fulani. In Ghana, you have the Asante tribe, which is present day Akan. You can tell because that same mindset still exists today when Africans come into the New World. When Africans come into the New World, and they don't get under the same program with Black Americans, the first thing they say is, "No, I'm of Yoruba tribe. Oh, I'm Fulani. Oh, I'm Nigerian." This is the same mentality that they have over in the continent that has caused them to be pretty much co-opted by the Europeans and the Arabs. Now the Chinese on the continent. The same continent with all of these resources that has made Europe look like what it is today.
No, I get that. They might have not had a concept of saying like, okay, this group is white, this group is black. No, not like that. That's not what I mean. What I mean is they should, because when you say it like that, it almost makes it like Africans are not intelligent enough to notice that there's a difference between Europeans and Asians, even if they don't see it as, okay, this person's white and this person's black. I agree that probably didn't exist. But as far as them knowing that this is a different type of people and saying that, okay, this guy might be a different tribe, but we're still the same type of people, but we're just different tribes. Like, I feel like that's an excuse. And I feel
Well,
like
I'm not saying it's an excuse, and I'm not saying that they don't recognize that. But what I'm saying is that they look at their tribes as the end all be all, which is why you see still a lot of tribal warfare within Western Africa today. Why the Europeans have colonized, and pretty much ransacked through all of the resources of sub-Saharan Africa. Same thing with the Arab slave trade. That pretty much the Arabs came in and plundered through all of North Africa to the point that
also
North Africa became Arab Africa.
And also something that we're failing to realize is that Africa never had a slave-based economy like the Europeans did. You know what I mean? The Europeans had literally ships and trade, insurance. They had an economy based on slavery. Africa never had that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'll just say this one thing, Rad, and then I'll let all of the other brothers speak. Because me personally, I got love for the Spanish Antilles, people that got love for me, people that I understand, people that acknowledge their African ancestry, brothers in Nigeria, brothers in Western Africa, because we descend from the Bantu peoples of Western Africa.
Yeah.
And in America, majority of our DNA is of West African descent with European admixture, and to a lesser extent, some Native American admixture. But like, we can't sit here and act like Tariq is the end all be all, and this is just causing division when it's a lot of people that ain't rocking with us to begin with, no way. And this is just a response, and not rocking with us like in the sense of we just gonna do our own thing, not rocking with us like you are against us, and we ain't done nobody anything. I'm not talking about the individual.
Let me say
hold
something.
on for a second.
Wait, let me just say.
Let me.
Wait,
Yeah,
real
go
quick.
ahead, bro.
Let me just say
I'm
something.
sorry.
I understand being a genuine response. I will understand that, but to be completely honest, this the FBA ADOS thing is not a genuine response. It was literally
Exactly.
made to go after immigrants in something that makes no type of sense, because again, going after immigrants doesn't have reparations as a solution whatsoever. It just doesn't make sense. Like this, I understand the division.
Calling ICE on immigrants is not going to get y'all reparations.
Exactly.
That don't make no.
And
Bro, there's a reason why they was
understand
called ICE, though. There's a reason for that.
I understand being a response. I get that, but if we look at the inception of this, it was never made to be a response. It was made to be divisive from the very beginning.
So what do you think might have caused this type of response? Right?
Well, first of all, who started this was ADOS, and if you really look back at ADOS is actually funded by an anti-immigrant group. And once you break that down, then you start understanding why Yvette and Tone Talks will actually go on this anti-immigrant rant. Tariq just took their talking points and elevated it to more anti-immigrant talk because he wanted just a bag. That it was just another grift for him.
I get all of this. I get all of that.
Yeah, so that's all it was for him.
Yeah, I'm not.
Everybody else just repeats the same thing that ADOS and FBA are saying. What the leaders are saying, the same thing. Cheetah P this. Look at your hairline. That. Fix your homeland. Why don't you just go
fix
back?
your homeland?
It's
you
literally,
must.
And I get that. Hold on, I get
it's
that.
It's literally just
but
repeating it. That's all it is.
Let's keep it a G. I get that. It's a lot of people that repeat those talking points, but isn't a lot of immigrants that come here that repeat white supremacist talking points?
But immigrants didn't make a movement like FBA did to go at Black Americans.
They immigrants don't have to, because they already get benefits when they come here.
No, not at all. Because immigrants themselves got shitted on here, got fucked up here, and all that other stuff. So some immigrants understand the immigrants who have anti-black views, yes, I understand what you're coming from, but they did not collectively come together and say, well, let's make a movement that's going to be for, I don't know, immigration rights, but then we're going to go and shit on Black Americans that have nothing to do with immigration rights.
They
You know what I'm saying?
they don't have to collectively make a movement, right? If they already have that mindset, if they have a collective mindset on thinking that Black Americans are beneath them, why they taking advantage of what Black Americans are.
That collective mindset does not do nothing to Black Americans. That collective mindset does not harm, disparage, nothing whatsoever. But that collective mindset of xenophobia, like FBA has, is harmful, because they're not only talking about them, you know, Cheetah Pete, y'all shitting on the streets and all that other stuff. They're taking actions towards it, calling ICE, actually harming
but radical.
people.
The
You know what
reason
I'm
why
saying?
the reason why some people are calling ICE is because I've been in a lot of these rooms, and when you call out the disrespect from like people who actually do come on and be disrespectful, that's from Africa or the Caribbean, they basically have this mindset like, what are you gonna do about it? I'm already here. So the response is I've heard that response before. There was a Liberian girl on, I think, Dinah's channel talking about, we already here and the process is going fast, and she literally just talked about how she took a Black American woman's job. And I'm like, and you say
they talking big shit.
Yeah,
they talking big shit. And those are not the ones that represent, you know, the Black immigrant groups. The same way how FBA doesn't represent the whole Black American group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are small sectors of people.
No,
most African American,
it's not.
Radical. Hold on for a second. That's true too, because here's the thing, Radical. We outside all the time, and one of the things I notice about these people, like, I knew somebody was lying, because when I first started listening to these Twitter spaces, I was like, somebody then called in from Natchez, Mississippi. Yeah, Tariq, brother, I understand what you're saying, because the African down here in Mississippi, ain't no Africans in Mississippi. What are you talking about? Yeah, brother, I'm down here in West Alabama, and these Nigerians, what Nigerian? Ain't no Nigerians over there. So it turned into this thing, and I'm like, yo, somebody's lying. Somebody's just making up stuff just to make up stuff.
Real quick, I want Don to go real quick, and then I got, hold up, let me see. I got Mafa Rose. Yo, what's going on?
I'm chilling. How are you?
Yo, what's up? What's up? Wait, real quick, Don. Yo, Mafa, you in the room? What's up? Mafa.
Yo, what's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents, man, because I watched this whole situation.
All right, Mafa, you got it real quick, because I was talking to Don first, and then you go in. All right, Don, say what you got to say, bro.
Yeah, I just came in here in the chat and everything. So my thing is that a lot of people want to have on white supremacy. I don't know if y'all went up and touched on this topic, but that dude Kanye West and Candace Owens, they went up and they had a shirt saying something whites support or something like that. I just saw it briefly on Instagram. So therefore, they're making news all of a sudden, right? Like White Lives Matter or something. So yeah, white supremacy is actually almost winning. Not.
Gotcha. Mafa, you could go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So now, what I was saying is that, you know, I saw this whole situation when it started from the beginning. Personally, and the reason why is because I was a big fan of Tariq's. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but we're also hearing
yeah,
what
bro.
you're eating,
You might have to stop chewing, bro. You need to.
Yeah, whatever grandma cooked for you, brother, you gonna have to.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So what I was going to say is that. So I remember, because even with the girl Yvette Carnell, like, I used to watch Yvette Carnell probably years before she got on, before she started speaking, because at first she just used to talk about African American issues, and she used to break down the numbers as far as the poverty and how the history affected African Americans. Even when she got on the immigrant situation, she was not really venomous per se, right? And Tariq kind of piggyback off of her. But the reason why Tariq went into it is because Tariq, because I watched the whole thing like when it started. So what was happening with Tariq is that Tariq kept, like, every single thing that Tariq was doing, like, he kept getting these pushback from these media outlets, these black media outlets. And what he started to notice was there was one common denominator with the people that was like either attacking him or, just was going at him. And the common denominator is that they had immigrant flags in their profile. So he kind of put two and two together and realized, because me myself, I'm an immigrant also, but I kind of understand the situation a little bit different than a lot of people that came later. So even with you, Radical Latino, because I remember even back then you were in support of Tariq, and right, and it's for the same reasons what I'm talking about right now. So now, mind you, I don't think that what people think as far as like, I don't think Tariq is trying to be venomous in a certain way. I think he's trying to basically get people to respect the black people that have been here, because if we are honest, there have been a lot of disrespect to black people in general, but specifically to the African American community that are from here. And so that's all I wanted to say.
Now let me ask you something, Mafa. If you want people to respect your lineage, your group, and stuff like that, what's the best way to go about it? Is it to shit on their country and say, "Yeah, it smell like cheetah peeing," all that other stuff? Or
okay, but here's the
wait.
Yeah. I want to answer this.
Or actually educate them and be like, "Hey, yo, this is not, if it wasn't for us, y'all would have never been here." And actually lay the groundwork down. You know what I'm saying? Which one is to you? Which one is a better way to do it?
Yeah. Now, you from New York, right?
Yeah, of course.
When I first came to the United States, that's the first place I came to back in the 80s, right? I believe that the only way to get through to black people is the same thing that I saw when I first went to New York, where people used to crack on each other. What it does, it gets people attention and it creates that buzz. It's like marketing. And the best way for that to happen, because black people do not listen to you when you just talking regular. Like, black people don't like to hear all of that. Like, people shut that out. But if you come with a shock and awe, you blow a bomb up, then everybody's going to look like, "Oh shit, what's going on over there?" And that's basically what Tariq did. I thought it was genius.
Okay, so again, your answer to that was basically just crack jokes, so it can actually impact the person instead of just talking.
Bro, you gotta
right?
put it in context, Radical.
Well, actually, I feel like everybody's being too sensitive about this. You understand? It's the same thing with immigrants when we first came to New York back in the days when African American kids used to crack on us. But look what happened later. It actually.
Hello, Mafa. Yo.
Oh damn.
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. We can hear you, bro.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. I thought it went out. Yeah, so it wasn't like, so basically what it did, it kind of caused a stronger bond. And to be honest with you, because of this conversation, it's actually happening again, where people are forming a better bond off of respect.
Okay. Hold on. So let me ask you something. Would you think that better bond is still being held if a FBA individual goes out and hurts an immigrant violently? Is that still the same bond?
Yeah, but that's a hypothetical. That's not happening. And
No,
so,
no, no, no,
no,
no, no. That's not
hold,
that's not a
hold on.
hypothetical. That's
It
not
is
a
not.
hypothetical. We're not going to do
So
that.
you're
No,
telling
it's
me?
not. No, it's not.
Yo, you're doing the
What
robot. Bro. You're doing the
what
robot.
immigrants
You're
have
doing the
been
robot.
harmed in the name of FBA Outtros right now?
You're doing the robot.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, the dude that went down there, and don't interrupt me. We have it on. We have everything on paperwork. We have it on video. That's the reason why Fed showed up to Tariq's house. The dude that
Yo, you're doing the robot
Yo,
again, bro.
bro, you sounding like the Jetsons right
Bro, you're doing the robot again.
now.
Yeah,
Sounding
you're
like
doing the robot
R2D2,
again, bro.
brother.
Yeah.
Gotta fix that. Kevin C, won't you come up and join the panel, brother?
Hold on, I think it's
Yeah,
Kevin
my
C
bad. Y'all can hear me now?
Now we can hear you way better. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. The dude, this is not no hypothetical. Let's not play around with the situation talking about is building a better bond between us. No, it's not. The dude that what's his name? The dude that went down there to the subway, Radical. If you remember, the dude that went over there to Brooklyn
Yeah,
and committed that terrorist
Kenneth and
attack.
all that. Yeah.
I forget what the dude Frank James. The dude
Frank,
was named
yeah,
Frank
yeah.
James or whatever. Yeah. They got what's his name? They got paperwork and they linked everything back to him being a supporter of Tariq. You mean to tell me y'all think it's a coincidence that somebody that's been listening to Tariq for that long went down there to Brooklyn and committed that terrorist attack where everybody knows where we come from in Brooklyn, everybody's an immigrant there. You can't put two and two together. Let's not play games with that type of situation.
I think you're overreading that. And one reason I would say
I'm overreaching it, but they just gave Homeboy 25 to life. I'm the one who's overreaching.
You're not listening. You're getting emotional, and you're not even letting me respond.
The feds went to this nigga house. We don't need to know anything about it.
Let him respond. Let
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
just because he's a subscriber to Tariq doesn't necessarily mean he went down there to start shooting up shit on behalf.
And it doesn't mean that it don't either. Yeah, it doesn't mean that it don't either. You don't have that answer. You don't have that answer. That doesn't mean.
Are you gonna let me speak, brother?
That guy shot indiscriminately.
Yeah. Let him talk.
First and foremost, I'm a subscriber of Radical. I'm a subscriber of multiple people on YouTube. If I go down there and do something crazy, or if I go start shooting up a whole block, are people going to relay my name back to Radical and say, hey, well, you know what? He's a subscriber of Radical, so maybe he might have did something on the behalf of an idea that Radical put out there on YouTube that brainwashed this man into doing that. If you listen to a lot of Frank James' earlier videos, Frank James he was a black man that grew up in the 60s, and he talked about a lot of frustration that he had dealing with racism, dealing with the system, and different things like that. I didn't hear the man bring up Tariq one time. And then on top of it all, a lot of the stuff that he made, he wasn't really lying in a lot of these videos about the way things were set up. Now, I don't know what made him flip out and what made him go down there and do that. I don't approve of that at all. That was very stupid and negligent. And of course, he got time for that. But to try to connect him just because he's a subscriber to Tariq, that's pretty much far-fetched. And I think
well, okay, that's fair. That's fair, Rakim. But let me ask you one question then. How do you feel about Tariq suggesting that the dude was Caribbean?
I don't know why. I don't know about that. The only thing I
looks like nobody got an answer to that. Looks like nobody got an answer to that situation.
Real quick. The only reason I can think that he would suggest that he's Caribbean because with him being in New York City is the Caribbean Central. Between New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut, and all that area is where the majority of the Caribbean island people.
In South Florida.
The part of the
but
South.
Why point it out though? Why say that he's Caribbean? Why point it out?
Rakim, I will probably, me in my opinion, is just to fuel his narrative because his narrative is to go
because his narrative.
But you know what? It's funny how everybody got an answer without letting me finish though. It's funny how everybody got an answer without letting me finish though.
Okay, go ahead, Rakim. Go ahead.
Damn, man. The only thing I would say is that's Caribbean Central, and the part of the South where the Caribbeans are is in Southern Florida. That's the only thing, because let's keep it real. Majority of the black population in New York City now is of Caribbean descent and African descent. A lot of the black Americans, you still have quite a few black Americans in New York City, but a lot of them have been migrating down south. You got a lot of Black American New Yorkers that are migrating to Virginia and North and South Carolinas. If not, they're migrating over into Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. Now let me just share this real quick with the people. There was a news article, right, in the New York Post, right, that says racist bashes Hispanic man on head with a metal pipe, right? You go down here and it says an Hispanic man was attacked by a black assailant who spewed anti-ethnic rhetoric while hitting him over the head, saying that I hate all Spanish people, blah, 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 I'm going to effing kill you, right? Now, this is the only information that we got, right? The only information that we got, the same information I got it's on here. If I was Tariq, I would have easily been like, well, you see, family, FBA is attacking us, and all this other stuff, right? I could have easily done that, but I didn't. I just, I put it out there, be like, hey, yo, we're getting attacked. We got to watch out, all this other stuff, right? Now, I have no proof whatsoever that the individual that attacked this Latino is FBA whatsoever, right? I could jump out the window and say I have a lot of evidence for that based on the rhetoric that I hear on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? The rhetoric that I hear from these Twitter spaces, I can say that. Will I be wrong for saying that? Of course, because I got no proof. You feel me? But it's not far-fetched for these individuals who are from Secure the Tribe, FBA, and all these other places to say, well, to point out and cherry pick, well, a Latino or African dude hit a Black American. You see what I'm talking about, family? They don't like us. They don't want us around. You see what I'm saying? This is what they do. This is what they do, and that's how the whole narrative has been going this whole time.
The Asian radical, the Asian attacks that's been happening over, whether it's in New York or it's actually something that it's either in Cali or New York, or just basically happening across the nation. For some strange reason, Tariq had no problem at all saying that the attacks that's happening on Asian people is coming from non-FBAs with no proof. No proof at all. Exactly. So if you really seriously think that we're so confused as a people and we're dumb enough to believe that this dude ain't trying to make the block hot for Black immigrants and get us knocked off in some sort of a way, like the situation here, even in New York, he keep on saying that everybody that's attacking the Asians is all Caribbean people that's doing that. It's all Caribbeans that's attacking Caribbean people that is attacking the Asian people. That's a lie. That don't even make any sense. Even the people in the Asian. Yes, he said that. It's on his Instagram page. You can go on his Instagram and it says, why are non-FBA people attacking Asians? And he got a picture up of some light-skinned dude punching some poor lady in the face. That's pretty much just it.
I mean,
now the crazy.
I looked into that, and basically it's a bunch of career criminals, homeless people, or people who are mentally unstable. And basically that was a campaign to get some laws and money for Asians, which is a messed up thing to do by blaming Black people. And to be fair, and to some extent, there were some Black immigrants involved, but it was a bunch of people. So it was FBA and Black immigrants. The bottom line is that those people were unstable. To even the Black immigrants, they were either homeless or mentally ill or career criminals. All right.
Yeah,
so,
but he didn't say that. He just said,
he didn't say that. He just said Caribbeans were the ones that are attacking Asian people. So he calls us out by name. He ain't saying nothing about no mentally ill people. He doesn't say nothing. And the crazy thing about the whole Asian attacks too, some of the people in the Asian community themselves says that the majority of the attacks were being done by white folks.
Because that's who's doing it. That's who's
still doing
75.
The lady from one of the ladies from the Asian community council said that 75% of these attacks are committed by white folks. Tariq can't say that
white people, so they're going to blame
the person that just said that Tariq said that it was committed by immigrants. You know you're lying, right?
Are you talking to me?
I'm sorry.
Whoever said that Tariq said that the crimes in New York was committed by immigrants. That's not true. I can tell you exactly what he said.
I either have to hear him say it.
No, wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute. I like to show receipts. This is my thing. I like to show receipts.
Yeah, I need to see him. Yeah.
This is Tariq Nasheed's thing
Right
right here.
there. That's on his Instagram page.
It
Yeah,
says
right
it right
there.
here.
That's
So
on his
don't be
Instagram.
calling people liars when you have.
What does it say?
Read it. Almost
Read it. It's
every
right there.
single
Yeah.
one of these Asian hate
Yeah,
crimes.
I can't read it because I'm on my phone.
Almost every single one of these Asian hate crime assaults in NYC has been committed from people of immigrant background. Foundational Black Americans have nothing to do with this. So why are non-FBA people doing this?
Exactly.
It's right here, black and white.
Yeah, but
bro.
if I called Tariq, I would disagree with that because I looked into it. It's
Oh, well, we're not talking about.
what I
We're
just
not
said.
talking about you disagreeing. The thing is that this is what he's spewing out.
Yeah, well, he should be more responsible than that. And that particular guy might be a Black immigrant. I don't know. So I look at it. It's FBA and Black immigrants, but it's people who are mentally ill, unstable, homeless, and career criminals. That's who's doing it. And I wouldn't even go so far as to say some of those people are paid actors.
Right.
Because the whole point was to actually get the blame away from white people who's committing all the damn crimes and put it on Black people because Black people are an easy target. And a lot of people don't like Black people anyway, so it's just easier to blame Black people. And if I'm an Asian, because I actually had a couple of conversations with Asians about this, either online or just in real life. And you know what? The way that they were talking, they were very happy to actually take the blame away from white folks and put it on Black people. They were very happy to do that. And
let me ask everybody. Wait. Let me ask everybody in the room. Okay, if this was an orchestrated effort, right, and we know the tactics that the dominant society uses, if this was an orchestrated effort in order to pass a bill, why didn't Tariq do the $2 million and make some effort to do something good for the Black community? You feel me?
Actually, if you actually, like I said, I watched Tariq religiously, right? If you actually watch his programs when all of this was going on, you would see that it was Tariq that came out that was showing the receipts that it was all orchestrated. He kept showing he kept showing the players of who was orchestrating it and everything.
Wait. He wasn't showing no receipts. What he was doing is he showed some dude that looked like the same dude that committed the crime next to Andrew Yang. And then he started to say, who's going to attack somebody wearing a pink hoodie and a leather jacket? Who's going to do that?
But here's the problem. No, well, you're right. He was showing the common denominator, and the common denominator was in all of the attacks, the person was wearing a red and pinkish hoodie. And the person always looked the same, and the person was known to be an actor.
Okay, well,
I mean, why did all these attacks?
I don't know about no actor, but this looks
weird to me. Because there was a video way before that happened with Andrew Yang and that same person.
I know which one.
Right.
And he connected both of them and said, "See, this is all this other stuff." Again, what does that? Again, those $2 million would have been used in order to get reparations a lot closer, right? The conversation has not been about reparations now. It has been about museums. It has now. Come on now, $2 million, not a power to do that. Immigrants put $2 million. Wait. Immigrants put $2 million.
Why are Black people paying to get reparations?
Wait, hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. Immigrants put $2 million together for Obama, and he spoke to every immigrant's needs, especially Hispanic immigrants. So don't tell me $2 million ain't nothing.
I'm just saying, why would anybody pay money to get reparations? That's not how you do it. It's
Is
literally
FBA's whole
FBA's
whole thing is to get reparations.
You have a CBC, you have politicians, you have
but
mayors.
FBA's whole thing was to get reparations. That's the whole point of its inception.
I told you this. I think I told you why it's not happening because you have politicians and Black leaders and just basically people in general who don't support it. That's why it's not happening. It's not because I look at it this way. I'm putting it to you this way. If white people could figure out a way to attach themselves to it the way they did to Native Americans, then reparations would be approved. They just can't figure out how to do it. All right. If they can figure out a way to attach themselves to it and actually skim money off the top, then they'd approve reparations tomorrow. They just can't figure out how to do it.
I wanted to speak about something really quickly. I wanted to chime in on this really quickly.
A lot of people shouldn't be having to pay or run around or actually beg and plead to actually get the reparations that's due since 1865.
No, you're right.
Nobody else has to do that.
You're right.
All right, so
Black
all of
folks
this
are not
stuff
supposed
that
to be begging
all of this
for
jumping through
that.
hoops and doing
Or
cheater
no, it's
flips
supposed to be done
and
already. No, you're right.
begging and pleading.
I
Yeah.
agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. It should be already
Yeah.
done. I've been very a strong component for reparations. It
Yeah.
should be already done. My thing is the person that coined FBA said, "I'm gonna show you how to get reparations." Nothing has been done.
Okay, all right. I got a quick.
He has
I got
no
a quick
power
question.
though.
I have a quick
Where's the
question
power
about
lie
this.
though,
wait,
Radical?
I got a quick question about
But
this.
wait, hold on. But Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore don't have no power, but yet they got a lot closer than he did.
They got to study. There's that. You know what?
That's closer,
so the
bro.
closest thing has been going back with. I think it was John Conyers. I think it's John Conyers or Rangel. I might be getting them confused. But the guy who just recently died not too long ago, since the 1980s, he's been putting in reparations a claim or a reparations bill. Every year since the 80s. All right, and of course it goes back. Before that, but the most recent one was the 1980s. When he became a senator, when he became a member of Congress, and every year he actually submitted a bill. And finally, HR 40 got approved. And all it is just a study, which means we're just going to study and not really do anything and not really actually come up with any real solutions. Look, the CBC, that's what the CBC is for. That's what these black politicians are for. That's what these so-called black leaders are for. And the reason it's not happening is that they're not really pushing it and they don't want it to happen. Because basically at this point they're all essentially paid off, or they're just essentially sellouts. Like that's the same. It's the same reason Jackson, Mississippi doesn't have water. It's the same reason that reparations is not happening. Like I know you think it may be a little bit easier than what it is than what you think it is, but it's really not. And the reason is that black leaders don't support it because they've essentially sold their people out so they can get their little benefits and positions and get their little nice houses and millions of dollars and get their little their back payments on the slide. That's really what's going on.
Kevin C, let me ask you a question then. So you do believe as an African American yourself that these African American leaders are working against reparations for your own community?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We all
right.
do.
There's no reason
but I don't know why. I don't know why FBA is so. No, the thing about it is that why is FBA so real hard on this immigration, not immigration, but like on immigrants? They make it seem like immigrants are stopping.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you an answer for that. But go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, yeah. So
go
look,
ahead.
you're talking about black immigrants, right? Or are you talking about immigration at all?
Because the way that they talking, like if you listen to FBA's rhetoric, Tariq then made it seem that somebody from Ghana is the one that's stopping y'all from getting reparations, which doesn't make sense.
That's not what's happening.
Yeah, but somebody from Ghana.
What we have is a situation. Look,
hate group.
Black immigrants are not the problem. They're not a problem. In as much as they come into the United States, do what it is they're going to do, and whether they become citizens or not, they stay here for a little bit. They study, whatever it is they're doing. That's no consequence to us. We don't care what it is they're doing. The only issue are the ones who actually show up and they do what they can to undermine and sabotage what black people are supposed to be doing in the United States to benefit themselves. You literally have black people who show up and say, black people in the United States don't deserve reparations. You Negroes are lazy. You don't want to work. You do this. Radical. I was just on a panel.
Right. Because you got some people that they play the role for white supremacists.
And I'll just say this.
And it's much easier to get an immigrant person to do that because
look at this.
God. If you don't feel any kind of camaraderie with the group, you understand it's no problem for you to kind of undermine the group.
And that's exactly what we're saying.
So it doesn't matter what any immigrant does.
Real quick. Everybody, take a look at the screen real quick. This is Kanye
Candace
West
Owens, whoever that
Candace
is.
Owens. Kanye West. That's Kanye West.
Okay.
And Candace Owens with shirts that says "White Lives Matter."
Is that Photoshop, by the way?
No, that's not Photoshop. It seems like this is real.
It's on her Instagram.
That's never Photoshop. If it's Candace Owens
and
Kanye, it's never Photoshop.
Dangers, and for someone y'all who rush to defend him, you should ask yourself why. That's insane.
But we've always had black sellouts and collaborators. That's how all those slave rebellions got put down.
We've been saying Kanye lost his mind. And are people really riding with Candace Owens? Come on,
not at all. We don't fuck with her.
We know.
Sorry, we don't mess with her.
God, oh my
and first and foremost, I would say this. You know what? I find it very funny how I'm trying to figure out, is Tariq Nasheed, like, is he is he like the number one person that's doing most of this damage or something like that? Because last time I checked, Tariq Nasheed is just one person. He's not
Nah, bro. I think people give him
He's
too much credit.
no, he's adding the fuel to it for other people's to come. Because if it wasn't for Tariq Nasheed, Secure the Tribe would have never even became a thing.
Okay,
Secure the Tribe became a thing when FBA was a thing.
wanted to respond to this too, Rad, because earlier you said what the best thing to do is to try to get people to understand. Are we going to sit here and act like black people have not been doing that, and a lot of groups have given us their ass to kiss?
Wait, repeat that one more time.
When you said that the best thing to do is try to get people to understand that are coming over here into the States, from the islands and everything like that. Black Americans have been doing that, and people have been giving us their ass to kiss. Like,
yeah, I don't think you really read into a lot of the videos and stuff that's actually running around here online, where you literally have people who are openly negatively speaking against Black Americans.
Yeah, hold on one second, Kevin. If you go into some of these clubhouses, nobody's even speaking about the nastiest stuff that a lot of these people say on TikTok and Clubhouse about Black Americans. You literally got people of African descent. Now, this is where our ancestors descend from, saying that we are lower tier slaves. We got slave blood. We are inferior.
Yeah, it was bad.
This is coming from Somalians.
It was crazy. That was the thing that was the thing that kind of shocked me, because, like I said, I saw the whole thing. I used to watch.
Okay, and I understand that this was not an original racist term coming from the islands, but we know of some Dominicans that use it when they refer to Black Americans as cocolos. I understand that that's a term that's used on the island for English-speaking people, but apparently people use that to identify Black American people too. You got cocolo, you got akata, you got mayate, you got all these different terms.
You got there's a lot of negative terms to describe Black people
towards Black Americans, but people want to jump up against sensitive because Tariq Nasheed said something about somebody's homeland, or because Tariq Nasheed said somebody smelled like cheetah pea. When you got people that literally come in here and shit on Black Americans all day, every day. You got people that go to HBCUs and continue to shit on Black Americans all day.
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you. When did that start? Post
1960s going into the 1970s, early 80s is when there was a shift.
So that's when. Wait. Hold on for 1 second. That's when it started, right? That's when. That's when. The anti Black American thing and all that other stuff started, right?
Yeah. Now I understand that there was some propaganda associated with that.
So if it's nothing new, and I'm not trying to say that, hey, well, it is what it is, deal with it. I'm not trying to say that. But if it's nothing new, why did Tariq Nasheed say that that's a myth?
Well, so one of the things is Black people, native-born Black Americans, actually had a lot. I
barely even know about Tariq. I'm just saying, based off of personal experience.
This is my thing. My thing is
this about Tariq?
Wait. Hold on. Wait. My whole thing is be consistent, right? Be consistent. That's all I'm saying.
Yo,
are you talking about?
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Hold on, people. I'm speaking. Hold on. My thing is be consistent. If this was going on this whole time, and I used to follow Tariq religiously, he always used to say, those are the coons of the African community. It is what it is. It's a myth. That's not true. And now he flips and just goes after the whole. That, to me, I can't shake that. To me, right there, that's hypocrisy. Because this is what he said. This is what he said.
Beautiful.
Yep. This that radio.
Yeah, but I disagree with that, Radical, because that's not.
They treat you as an American going over there. Man, they love us. There's a myth that Africans don't like African Americans. There's a myth that Africans don't like African Americans. There's a myth that
Bro, I cannot make this stuff up.
Let me tell you what happened with that.
We're talking about Africans on the
up until about recently, I would say about 15, especially in the last 20 years or so. I hate to say it, man, but a lot of people who come to the United States who are not from here, they've been very open about their disdain for Black Americans specifically. Before they just used to hide it. They used to keep it to themselves. They used to kind of keep it in their circles, and they wouldn't really leak out. And for the longest time, we were getting the Marcus Garveys, the Kwame Toures, or the Stokely Carmichaels, even the the Malcolm X's and all that other stuff. Post 1960s, especially after the so-called radical, civil rights movement and Black Power movements, white people got smart. They said, look, we ain't bringing in no more Stokely Carmichaels. We just need people who are willing to sell out and work against these people who are here fighting us. That's really what this is about.
No,
that's really how that transitioned. But up until then,
I understand, Kevin C. I get
yeah,
that.
okay,
I understand that the whole point of the FBI was not to have a black messiah. I get that.
Okay, all right.
I understand. But I don't want to sit up here and say Africans said all this. I heard the whole thing. I heard Africans be very, very, very vile to Black Americans. I heard the same thing, but it's nothing new. The thing is, if it was such a huge, huge deal, then these type of videos would have never been out. These type of comments would have never been out. These type of rhetoric that he's saying, this is a myth. That's not true. There's a lot of love.
Let me respond to that.
This is the one person that started the whole thing, that fueled the tribe, fueled everything. It's true.
Let me respond.
I get you. So
okay,
you don't think that?
Hold on one second, Kevin. Hold on one second. I just want to say, Rad, are you going to make a stream about all of the other non-Black groups, about them reaching back to Black Americans for any type of unity? Will you make a stream about that? Because now this is in a situation where it's looking like Black Americans are being painted to be the bad guys, when a lot of this stuff, now I don't agree with, I don't put down no other groups to talk bad, but let's not act like a lot of this stuff is not a response. From way back, you talking about people that get into politics, people that get into high-end positions, and then that's when people want to adapt the tribal mindset. You have a lot of Latin groups that are getting into construction. They're not thinking about Black Americans. They're just trying to help people with their significant group. Are we going to talk about that? Are we going to talk about if it's a situation where other people are going to get involved and meeting Black Americans halfway? Because Black Americans been doing the reaching for quite a long time.
Yeah. So, hey, Hakeem, man. So here's what I would say to that. Right? Is that, look, people are going to take advantage of whatever opportunities are available to them. I'm not, because we kind of had this conversation a while back, and I think I mentioned this to Radical, is that if somebody comes in and they're supposedly getting employment over people who are born here or something like that, that's not really their issue or their problem, and it's not even their fault. It's actually they're being used as pawns, really, witting or unwitting, I don't know, but you could say that they're being used as pawns and as leverage in a way that they shouldn't be used, and to ignore one specific group while elevating another group and then harming another group at the same time. Like they're not responsible for creating the situation. They're just trying to get what they can get, and I'm not even mad at that, because I'll be honest with you. If I were in that situation myself, I'd probably do the same thing. It's literally, and I hate to do it's literally the United States government that's handling this, but we got people in place who can easily fix these laws and fix what's going on, these actions, policies, procedures, whatever the hell it is they're doing wrong. It's very easy to fix all of this, hand wringing and caterwauling about, oh my gosh, you're so terrible, and I just don't know what to do. You're in the government, you're in Congress, you make the damn laws, you create the legislation, shut up and fix it. All of this, oh, I don't know what to do, and it's the Dems stopping me, or it's the Republicans stopping me. Actually, they're two sides of the same coin, and they're both in it together, and they're planned. And this idea that the Republicans hate immigration and the Democrats are very liberal, they're both working together to allow this to happen. Because there's no way they can't pull us out without cooperating with each other.
Answer what Rakim
I don't blame the immigrants.
Let me answer what Rakim said. I've done streams and I've done videos about Latino groups talking disparagingly about Black Americans. The thing is that no other group that's an immigrant group that's our Africans made a group comparable to FBA and only talked about Black Americans as a smokescreen to get something else. For example, FBA's whole inception was for reparations, and nothing has been made politically to achieve that in their own website and everything else. The only thing that FBA is talking about, and the only thing that they've been talking about, is xenophobia. That's the only thing. You have not seen a large group of African immigrants, Latino immigrants, what have you, actually make a group and actually consist that group for something, but in reality is a bunch of xenophobic stuff. You haven't seen that. FBA has done that. And that's the reason why I see more of FBA's fuckery than anybody else's, because anybody else's that's easily dismissed because they don't have a group. On top of that, FBA's group is very dangerous because they're talking about real world consequences. That's what they're talking about. So that's the reason why. That's all I'm saying.
Radical, can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
Yes, well, I think what everybody's seeing like the after effect. Like nobody's really seeing like what, you know. So even when the conversation started, a lot of the reactions that you saw, the secure the tribe, all of that stuff that came later, a lot of that was in response to, because after the secure that one space that secure the tribe had.
Yeah.
Man, if you saw the rooms that was opening up on Clubhouse and Twitter Space, a lot of it was, and it was mostly African folks that was doing it. But man, if you went into those rooms, it was crazy.
No,
So
I've seen some people send me those type of things, but again, it was a response to the Secure the Tribe group. But then that Secure the Tribe group was also a response to all the immigrants talking bad about Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? So I understand both. My whole thing is that these immigrants aren't making a group solely based on attacking Black Americans.
It's because they
and
already have a
using a
group.
smoke
They
screen
already have a group.
for something else. That's what I'm saying.
But radical, but radical. Here's the point, and here's the end game, right? The whole point and the whole end game is to get it out there, because basically all it is that, you know, people want respect for their group, and because of the disrespect that was coming towards the African American community, of course, if you were African American, you're gonna feel a certain way. With Tariq being an African American, he was doing what he could do in his power to bring attention to the situation. And that was actually one of the best ways to do it, to be honest with you, the way he's going about it right now. And so now that the attention is being drawn, now people can have the conversation like we're having the conversation right now. And what is supposed to come out of this conversation, like Tariq be talking about, is people staying on code. Because the whole point, because to be honest with you, what you actually seeing, you're actually seeing a push for survival. Because right now we're kind of like, I mean, this is like some end of the world shit, and they got Black people at the bottom, and the Black African Americans are being shitted on and everything. So of course people are going to push back, and this is the pushback.
Gotcha. I want Denise to go. Go ahead, Denise.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hi.
What's up?
First of all, I'm so tired of Nasheed. Can Tariq Nasheed just go away with the Kardashians already? That's the first thing I'm gonna say. Second, look, from what I've seen, right, and I don't like to talk a lot about this whole thing because usually it triggers some people. The worst thing you can do in modern society right now is start joining cults and not actual political or social political organizations or even financial organizations. And to me, the way that I see this whole Tariq Nasheed thing is like, look, if this is a dude that's profiting off of the emotions and the disenfranchised pain the African Americans have felt for a few decades now after they were integrated. And he found a way to profit from that by giving them props to attack people based on false history. Just in the chat, we just had a conversation with a person, if we can call him a person, stating things like, oh, immigration was, able and possible because of the civil rights movement. When we have documentation that that is not true, especially with us Latinos. We were already here. As a matter of fact, with the Emergency Quota Act that happened in 1921, we were not even sanctioned. That was just to limit Asians to come here and everybody else. But Latinos were not sanctioned by that quota. We were wanted here.
It was only a
And
small number.
Yeah, but wasn't that part of the Bracero program?
but let me finish, guys. So when I hear these things, it's so cringe, because one thing that I keep questioning this whole FBA cultist people about is, why is it that a group that has been heavily sabotaged, and there's evidence that African Americans have been constantly sabotaged from the moment they set foot here, how is it that a group that has been sabotaged for so long is still today, 600 years in, unable to move in silence? How is it that, and I keep asking these questions and no one seems to have the answer. How is it that there's not an African American party? How is it that there has never been, I believe, an African American governor?
No.
Now, my thing is,
for the 1860s, but yeah.
My thing is, why is it that instead of you getting angry at folks that disagree with you from other countries, how is it that, how will you take that energy and you just put it towards a candidate, and you just put it towards becoming a councilman, a councilwoman, a mayor, you become a governor, you get into politics, become a judge, become something that has power in order to further down your agenda? Because, and I get it, a lot of people will say, oh, the white supremacy. Look, you can argue white supremacy to a degree. You can only argue it to a degree. It's time for people to start getting into positions of power. We've said it to the Latinos, and I say that now to African Americans, brothers and sisters. Stop fighting with people that don't agree with you, because you're never going to change people's minds. And it's okay to disagree. The thing is that you have so much more stuff to take care of that you cannot be distracted right now. Because you're never going to get, and that's something that my grandpa used to tell me all the time, you're never going to get to your destination if you keep throwing rocks at every dog that barks at you on your way. So you can't keep arguing and getting angry at people because they don't agree with your agenda. And I think people like Tariq Nasheed picked up on the fact that many African Americans were angry, frustrated, rightfully so, but that's what he picked up on. And he said, hey, I can't manipulate these people to make them into believe in this false narrative that they were the creators of everything out here, and that they can use those tools to attack people. And that's when we receive all this rage, to the point that even people like myself that are pro African Americans agenda and their reparations and all this stuff that they're going through, we get attacked when we tell them, yo, this is not the way. And this is not the way. So when I hear this whole concept about FBAs, when are we going to start saying, hey, this is a code? This is a code. It's time to walk away from that, unless what you wanted was to hate on people. And that's basically what Radical is trying to explain. You guys are really for reparations, or and I'm talking to the FBA that are, and it's majority like this. Do you guys really want it to unite for your reparations, or you really want it to unite just to hate on people? Because it's not a good look. And second, because it makes you look smaller. And second of all, it's isolating you and it's putting you in a dangerous position that you know full well is not convenient for any Black person in this country. Because you don't want to be an island here.
But see, here's the thing, Denise. We've been an island. Black America. Nobody. If we wasn't an island, Can you tell me about what other group that's been riding for Black Americans during our darkest times? Nobody.
No, it's not.
Nobody.
But I'm not talking about an island in a sense of that somebody has to represent your collective. What I'm talking about is an island as if you have no allies, because throughout history you have had allies. The problem is that
Not any good ones, man.
what
Not any
happened.
good ones. Not any real allies.
No, there is. I can make. Look, I'm not gonna enter. I'm not gonna make a whole conversation about this, but I can make a whole stream about all the allies that African Americans have had. There is a lot of allies that you have had. The thing
They're
is
just
that
not any good.
no. Again, there's a
They're
lot
not
of.
any good.
They're not gonna be.
Let her finish.
Allies are never. Allies are never going to be 100% with you. That's what they call allies. It's kind of like the same thing with the feminist movement. It wasn't men weren't 100%. The men that created it weren't 100% with women, but they were allies because they furthered the movement. There are allies. It doesn't matter if they were 100% with you or not. They further your agenda. So you got to take advantage of what you get. You can't be like, oh no, because it's not 100% like I want it. Now, the allyship that you're losing, you cannot afford, because what happens when you have a bunch of African Americans that are already disenfranchised from the country for many reasons? What's going to happen when you have no allies, because people like myself, a radical Latino, have been so much bombarded by this, all of this xenophobia and hatred, that we no longer, even though we see you, we no longer want to partake on any conversation. We don't want to partake in any type of aid. What's going to happen if one day you guys are under attack and we no longer want to lend a hand, even if it's a small one? What's going to happen is that you have an island of people that had been in the position of being sabotaged. You're not seeing the sabotage again. It's happening in front of your eyes. You're not
Okay,
seeing
I just wanted to speak on that real quick, because Denise, you know you're my sis. But what's going to happen is that Black people is going to continue to do what we've been doing. We're going to continue
getting
to fight.
sabotaged, Rakim?
No, we're going to continue to fight. We wouldn't have, if we wouldn't have made it this far without fighting. Black Americans are well aware of, in this country, of what we go through. We're well aware of the system. It's everybody else that doesn't know the system. It's everybody else that doesn't understand racism, which is why they ignore it, because they think it's a fallacy. They think it doesn't exist, because they understand what's going on, but they know that Black people are the cannon fodder. It's not until their group are attacked in numerous ways that Black Americans are attacked is when you're going to see a lot of people scramble and not know what to do. We've been around the block, down the street, and across the expressway. We know how to fight when it comes to that. Historically, we haven't had any allies. We haven't had.
You have had, Rakim, throughout history. There's several allies that have further,
and they've been completely.
I agree with the guy. Black people in America haven't had allies.
They've been ineffective. Even allies now, they're ineffective, Denise. I mean, I like you, but they're all ineffective.
No, but
if they were any good at all, they'd actually get something done.
Okay. Let's do this history. Let's do it for entertainment. Before you were emancipated, your ancestors were
before Black people got the freedom after fighting in the Civil War.
Hold on.
After, that's what happened.
Let's say, I'm not saying that did not happen. You see, we're already dancing on the emotional side. What I'm saying is, like, before Black people got emancipated, right? Because again, I'm a Puerto Rican. We also got massacred, and we had allies. We can't just say that. It may not come in the form we like it, but those are allies because it further our agenda. Look at where we are today. You could be in the plantation or killed. Now, America had many options to deal with African Americans. They could have easily just said to Great Britain, hey, come here, help me kill these Black folks. That was another avenue to handle slaves that were rebelling against the country. That was another avenue. But you had someone that emancipated you legally, even though socially it was another story. But did it advance one step ahead the agenda? Yes or no?
I'm sorry, but you don't seem to understand the history.
I'm just asking a yes or no question. I don't need your interpretation of history. I'm just saying yes or no question. Did it advance your agenda? Yes or no?
It advances white people's agenda
Okay,
because they needed black people in order to help work the
Again,
fields. Come on now,
if you
Denise,
could have
come on
been
now.
Kevin, let's be in. You see, this is when we start being
The reason
disingenuous.
they couldn't kill black people off is because they still needed the black population to
No,
work.
again,
to do the
it
work.
doesn't matter if you were needed. Puerto Ricans are here as a colony, and we were
yes,
still.
it does matter.
We
If
were
you don't need
still
them, just get rid of them.
again.
Get them out of the country or kill them off. Those are the two options.
Well, you were supposed to be shipped to Latin America, Mr.
And
Wallace.
they figured out that they still
Mr.
needed black
Wallace.
people to do the work. That's why black people are still here.
It was Mr. Wallace that actually fought for you to stay here. The people need to start understanding these concepts and stuff. It's time for us to stop lying to them. This is a reality. You were supposed to not be here. You have had allies. It's not perfect allies, but you have had. And if we keep telling black folks that you're alone, that people hate you, that people don't like you, you're not helping black people.
Yes, but those allies were not Latinos or
I don't
Africans.
care. I don't care.
You're talking about
allies,
white people allies?
Again, I'm talking about one instance. I just said, have you had allies? And people here said no. Yes, you have had. Because if you didn't have people that did stuff for you, even though they hated your guts, they did stuff that kept your community alive, you wouldn't be here talking to us.
Yes, but the conversation is not about white
Can I respond to something that I heard? And I don't mean no disrespect to Radical and the young lady, right?
Go ahead.
But to be honest with you, it would be very difficult for Latinos to understand the African American plight. One of the reasons why is because, number one, people don't really care about Black history per se. So a lot of people don't really understand a lot of the things and the way the system here in the United States is set up and how it is set up on this somewhat of a caste white supremacist system. And number two, people don't understand the history of how and why the whole point of immigration here in the United States was actually, the point of it was to bury African Americans. And one of the biggest tools is not Latinos' fault, because the United States get benefit from Latinos in their countries because the United States is subjugating the people in those countries for their resources also. But at the same time, they're getting a 2-for-1 because they could use the Latino population to replace the workforce of the Black population to further push the Black population here in the United States down. So it will be difficult for, it's not like, I'm pretty sure a lot of Latinos do want to understand the Black plight, because one of the closest demographics that African Americans have, besides other Black folks, is the Latino population. Because genetically speaking, African Americans and Latinos are basically the same people. As a matter of fact, a lot of African Americans, Y DNA, father DNA, actually goes back to Spain the same way like our Latinos does. So it's just that the spectrum is Black people have more African, but they're also mixed. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying it will be difficult for some people to understand.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Denise,
but
do you want to
but this is the thing. Responding to what he's saying, and this is again, people keep going back to the same lane, and we're not doing anything whatsoever. No one, and I don't mean this, and I hope people don't take it as a disrespect. So I'm making this disclaimer, which I often don't do. No one, absolutely none, a community owes Black Americans an understanding. I understand.
Okay,
No, hold on.
Got that, Denise. That's why. If that's
Let
the
her
case,
finish.
should
Let her
nobody
finish.
complain?
Let her finish. Let her finish.
But hold on.
Should nobody complain?
No, but this is the thing. People are entitled to do whatever they want, just like you are entitled to complain about whatever happens to us. Like, for example, I've seen many African Americans complain about the immigration that's happening right now with Latinos. I support that complaints as well. I think America should be for Americans first. Now, again, no one owes neither group any understanding. We don't have to read your history. We don't have to comprehend your history. We don't have to comprehend your plight. We don't have to do none of these things. The people that do it, that have the opportunity and the curiosity to do it because they chose to do it, because our sympathy is not something that people can claim. And I think that's when people are mistaken. And I get that more often than not, African Americans mistake that because they have been very sympathetic to everybody else. So they expect, common sense and say, hey, if I'm sympathetic to you, I expect the same thing in return. That's just common sense. However, that does not mean that people owe you an understanding, because your feelings are only important to you and those that think and are like you. Same goes with the Latinos. If I ask, again, look at the chat and look at all the misquotes that you have people out here telling. I've been called, Mexican and illegal. People know I'm Puerto Rican, but they still call me all these names because they don't owe me as a Puerto Rican an understanding. They don't owe me and my people a full comprehension of what my people have been through. And as a matter of fact, we want to talk about this whole benefits from Latin America. We are a colony of the United States. And basically, you guys know a colony is no other than forced labor and exploitation. Same with the rest of Latin America. Can we also start hating on African Americans that have benefited from the stuff we have been stripped from, and start hating on you guys for that? I don't
because
think
we don't
should.
control it.
No, but you enforce it though, because
we don't.
You do, because you joined the armed forces, because
Puerto
you
Ricans are
don't know
benefiting
again. Excuse me, but hold on. No,
Wait.
no,
Black Americans don't make the decisions to go to the armed forces.
Black Americans
No,
join
as far
the
as
armed
policy.
forces. Black Americans join the armed forces. Black Americans join the Navy. Black Americans join the Marines.
You do that.
Black Americans,
on
Black
your own.
Americans vote Democrat, which is the party that destroys our stuff. Black Americans also.
So do Puerto Ricans, though.
No, Puerto Ricans don't vote for the president. Actually,
They
that's
vote
what
for
I'm saying.
No, Puerto Ricans that live in the United States, they do vote.
Again, Puerto Ricans in the island. I'm talking about the island
Most
in
of
Latin
them live
America.
over here,
Again. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No,
they have more numbers.
The
They have
islander
more numbers in the states than they do.
He's right. They can't vote. They don't have a vote, sir.
No, they can vote here.
Again.
Yeah, well, she's not talking
Well,
about.
they vote in the United States, but
I'm not
Puerto
talking
Rico.
about the United States. I'm talking about Latin America. 700 million of Latinos that are Americans as well do not have access to vote, but you vote to fuck up our countries. Should we hate on you? No, we don't hate on you. We come here to work. Now, the thing is that, again, we don't owe each other an understanding on these things. We don't. We really do not owe each other an understanding on these things. As a matter of fact, you want to hate on Latinos. That is okay.
I think we do owe each other to understand each other.
No, we don't.
She's speaking for herself. Don't hate on me.
No, again, because I'm not entitled. I'm not entitled to people's understanding and tolerance. That's the problem with people today. It's okay if you want to hate on me, because it's not going to stop what I'm doing. As a matter of fact,
what you were referring to? The Buffalo soldiers who were sent to Puerto Rico?
Not only.
Who gave Buffalo soldiers the order?
No, I'm not talking
They come
about.
up with that themselves, or the white
I'm
people
not
tell them to do
talking
it?
about the Buffalo soldiers. Let's just not go as far as that. Let's go to the Marines.
But you said black people
No,
are
again. Let's talk about the
screwing up
Marines
the rest of these
again.
countries, and they're not.
Again,
Black people are not making policies.
Kevin. We can't keep in today's era, today's society. I'm not talking about the past. I'd like to stay in today. You know me for this. We have to stay
What black
in
person?
today.
Tell me what black person is making everybody else go into other countries.
Let me finish.
What black person is doing that? What black group is doing that?
I'm not going to
President Bush's was it Colin Powell?
Again, if you read history, you will know that it wasn't until we demanded and the whole island emptied completely into a fucking freeway, demanding the Marines to vacate one of our islands because we were getting sick and there's still people dying from all the testing.
Yeah, Vieques. I know about that. Yeah.
Then you know that during that time, there's also African American Marines also there. You cannot tell me that there's no way in hell
There's
that you
Puerto
guys
Rican ones there too.
willingly not subscribed to join the Marines and you were forced. Because what we're doing is that we're being disingenuous right now. And what we're saying is that you're an unwilling participant of oppression. And that is not true. You are a willing participant because you don't care enough. That's the argument that you guys are using with us. Well, I'm going to use it back at you. You're a willing participant of all the desecration and torture that Latinos have endured in Colombia, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Cuba, Guatemala, Mexico. You guys are also responsible because you
Somalia.
care. No, again, I'm talking about Latinos. Somalia is not Latino. You guys are responsible for that because you don't care about our plight. You see how that can be twisted against you as well?
Yeah, and I get that, but
Then
so you have to have some
There's
operational
no
experience and tactical experience on the ground to understand how things are actually explained to people. When people volunteer to go into the military, they're not going there. They don't volunteer to go screw up other people's countries. All right.
Oh, come on, Kevin. Kevin, this has been done for centuries, Kevin. They know what they're doing, Kevin. Come on, Kevin. Let's not be disingenuous.
So people are signing up so they can go to Puerto Rico and destroy
No,
the
they
island?
sign up because they don't care. Their morale is not attuned, and their values is not attuned.
So
with those
I'll
of the
go ahead and give you
world.
like a real life.
No,
explanation real quick.
again, they put Americans first, as they should.
Okay.
They put America first. I don't have a problem with that. Look at me. I don't have a problem with it. They put America first because it's their homeland and the interest of their homeland. So you cannot come at other people for being tribal when you do tribalistic stuff. You profit from tribalistic stuff. You have pillaged the world alongside the white men.
Real quick, for Kevin.
That's
you
not
said
true,
what-
Denise. I can't agree with that.
Kevin,
Kevin,
real quick, because I'm about to wrap it up. But Kevin, you said what black person gave people whatever during Bush's Jr.'s cabinet. Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice.
White president.
They were part of.
White president has to give the order.
Yeah, but they give them.
I don't care if anybody's giving recommendations. White presidents have to give the order.
Okay.
That's how that goes.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna stop you right there. And I'm gonna tell you something else too. When you're on the ground and you're doing something that violates the law of land warfare, you can actually refuse to actually execute those orders.
Okay.
I know this for a fact. I've been in several situations where I thought I might have to actually say no. I'm not going to do that. And we've actually had it's mostly been black people who have said, I refuse to do this or that or the other, all throughout history against other people.
Okay, if that's the case,
and that's as recent as the 1990s, going all the way up until even through Afghanistan and the Iraqi war. So it's not stopped. If anybody has a conscience when they go into the military, it's black people.
I don't know if that's true, bro.
No,
if anybody has a conscience,
this is the thing, Rad. Then why is it that the black GIs in the Korean War never listened and stay in Korea and fought to defend Koreans because they were appealing to them? Hey, you know what, black GI, you know you're not like us over there. Can you just stop killing us?
Some state of Vietnam.
How come the bulk of black GIs from America did not say we refuse to kill another Korean? We're not gonna do anything else. Let's just not do anything whatsoever. Right? Because we're willing participants. No, let me finish.
Do you know the history of the Korean War?
No, let me
because
finish.
You're wrong. I'm telling you, you're wrong. I like you, but you're wrong.
Okay, then let's go more recent. How is it that when we're right now, what we're doing in Syria, Yemen, who did that? Was it a white president? Who bombarded Syria?
Who gave the order?
No, again, who bombarded?
Who gave the order?
Again, let me finish because I haven't finished. Who bombarded which presidents under which presidency? We bombarded Syria so much that we ran out of bombs. Which president was that? And this is a modern time. Okay. So last time I checked, what is Obama's ethnicity? No, again, what is Obama's ethnicity?
He's
But what does it have to do with
No,
Latino?
again,
He's black,
and
but
somebody. Okay,
he's black, but we
exactly.
know he doesn't
So,
really
so
identify as
that,
black.
moving
so
the
that
goalposts,
again,
Denise. You're moving the goalposts.
again. No, I'm not moving the goalposts. I'm
We're
just
talking
saying.
about black
No, I'm just
Latinos,
saying.
not
No.
white allies
I'm saying.
or
No, I'm
Arabs.
saying again. I'm just saying that you cannot come
You
at
know,
me
Obama saw
today.
himself different from
Oh
native-born
my
black
God, here
Americans,
we
right?
go again. Let's just disenfranchise a brother because he did something we don't like. No, it's because you have to understand that the standards that you're stamping on other groups can be stamped on you. That's my whole point.
Yeah, that is
You
true.
can't stamp on people stuff that you don't do for yourself. That has been this whole situation with Tariq Nasheed and the FBA code. You guys are stamping stuff on others that you don't like that stamp on you. If you don't like that, for us to stamp the shit Obama did on you, because Obama fucked up my island. If you don't want us to stamp stuff on you, then perhaps you should take a step back and say, hey, we have to have better discernment. There is racism and bigotry from other groups. I'm not denying that. I'm with you on all of that. I'm with you on reparations. I'm with you on the Black agenda. I'm with you on everything. But you need to stop taking shots at people and clapping for xenophobia and staying silent for it.
That's actually true, because during Obama's run, everybody was like black president, black president, black president. After he didn't do anything, well, he's not really black, he's not really part of us, and all that other stuff.
And I think that was the start of really where black people saw the real separation. All right, so hey, Radical, you pointed to that incident where that black person was shouting, anti-Hispanic slurs and beating somebody. Is that happening wholesale, or is that was those isolated incidents? Because if it's happening wholesale and then they actually put that on the FBAs.
No, it was just an incident that happened.
Okay,
so.
because I don't support that, right?
No, my point.
Wait,
real quick. My point to point that out is to say I could have easily said, well, this is an FBA individual harming us and all this other stuff when I have no proof. That's my thing. You
could have done that. You could have done that.
Yeah,
but it's really easy to get that information out of those guys, though.
I think we can all agree that
people who do that kind of stuff have no problem identifying themselves and who they align themselves with.
We can all agree that Tariq
Elliot Rodgers, incel, the Patriot Front, whatever people who do stuff like that, they have no problem shouting out their group. None whatsoever. Because they've already committed the crime. They're already going to get punished. So what's the harm in shouting out their group that they represent?
Now, with that being said, I think we pretty much said what we needed to say. I'm going to check everybody. Wait, before I go, hold up. The person that hit me up on Twitter and attacked Tariq Nasheed, listen, I'm begging Tariq Nasheed to make a cartoon of me because I'm nasty with the computer. That's all I got to say.
I don't think Tariq Nasheed knows about you, bro.
I could care. I want him to know about me.
No offense, but
if he doesn't, oh well.
I don't think he knows about you.
I could care less. But if he does,
he would, because ain't nobody really knew about Brandon, but he did it to Brandon.
Yeah, so
but that's because
he did it to Brandon.
Brandon made himself very well known.
Listen, if he did a cartoon of me, bro, I got something in the back. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna catch everybody.